After all that effort, you know, you really want it to be worthwhile. This still sounds a little bit fendery. It's got, you know, it's quite. So what I thought I'd do is try and improve it, basically, by actually putting some proper Gibson P90s in it. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Just making it up as I go along, as always. I think that might work. Just. Let's plug it in, see if it was worth it. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. Bit of a complicated one this week. What I've decided to do is, well, this here, you might remember, a few weeks ago we reviewed this. It's the Squier Stratosonic, which, you know, as you can see, it's a cross between a Fender and a Gibson, isn't it? All this part here is Gibson, wrap tailpiece, P90s. Although these aren't actually P90s, these are Fender's version of P90s. We did a brief comparison the other week with the SG Special, the Epiphone SG Special, and I kind of came to the conclusion that as nice as this sounds, and it does sound nice, I'll put a link to that review in the description box, so you might want to go back and check that out before you go any further. It sounds nice, but it doesn't really sound like a Gibson, or not on that kind of first listen. So I was kind of looking for more of a Gibson sound from this person. I was quite excited about this because I thought, oh, this is my favourite rig. P90s and a wrap over. My favourite rig. It's rock and roll. It's great. But this still sounds a little bit fendery. It's got, you know, it's quite, that's the only way I can describe it. So what I thought I'd do is try and improve it, basically, by actually putting some proper Gibson P90s in it. And maybe even, well, you know, definitely, there's no maybe about it, upgrading the tailpiece, sorry, I keep doing that, to something a little bit more fancy, to see if I can make this affordable guitar. It was £369, I think I paid for this. See if I can make this really good, something that I'm, you know, really into. Because the idea is great, isn't it? Look, a Strat that you can actually play, we've been there, without smashing your hand and it sounding shit. Yeah, I said it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to upgrade this. But before we do that, it's only fair to have another listen to it as it is and actually compare it alongside some of my favourite all-time guitars. These ones. You know it. It's the Epiphone SG Special. And this one, the Epiphone Les Paul Special. And last but by no means least, the Epiphone Wilshire. Brilliant. Slight different because this has got a Tune-o-matic setup. But P90s. So what we'll do now is we're going to play all of these side by side so you can compare them. And then what I'm going to do is swap these Squier Fender soap bars, that's what they call them, with these actual Gibson P90s that came out of an SG Special that I sold a little while ago. Actual Gibson P90s. We're going to pop them in there, or hopefully if they fit, I think they will. Look, oh, they might not. They might be a different size. Well, there may be issues. That'd be part of the fun. And then I'm doubting now whether or not they're going to fit. We'll find out. And then we'll have another quick listen, see if the actual pickups have made a significant difference. And then if I've got time, I'm also going to swap the tailpiece and the studs and the bushings for this stuff. Fancy lightweight stuff that I've got from Faber in Germany. Whoa, look at that. If we've got time today. Hopefully we have. We'll see what happens. And then we'll have another listen with it, with the tailpiece stuff and the pickups, and another comparison. And, well, hopefully that'll sound smashing. So I've got a lot to do. So I think let's get cracking. Let's have a listen before we do anything. And then we'll go from there. There's that rattle, by the way, I spoke about in the review. Can you hear that? That's these. Wobbly knobs. I don't think there's much you can do about those, but probably change them. Anyway, here we are. So all cleaned into the Princeton 65 today, no pedals at all. We're going to have to keep it fairly simple, so the guitars are all going to be on 10 with all the tone controls on 10. And I'm going to do a little bit on the bridge pickup, and I'm going to do a little bit on the neck pickup of each. That's all we're going to do. I've got a little loop that I've put down just to make it a little bit interesting, and we'll cut between them. First of all, the bridge. Here we go. Okay, so to me, to my ears in this room, the Stratosonic, it definitely sounds a little bit more Fendery. It's got a little bit more twang to it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It sounds nice, actually. So I'm kind of almost hoping that it retains some of that. But really, this is an experiment to see how much of that is in the pickups. So yeah, that's it. I'm not saying it sounds bad or one's better than the other. That's for the individual to decide, isn't it? My favourite so far is the SG Special. I don't know, there's something about that that really is really good. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to change these pickups. We're going to put some Gibson P90s in and we'll see what it sounds like after that. Before I do that, let's just take some pickup readings. These are Squier by Fender soap bars. All of the other three guitars have got Epiphone P90 Pros in. So let's take the readings from the fendery ones. Start on the bridge, 6.49K. Just write these down so I don't forget about them. And that is 4.08 Henrys. And on the neck, 6.35. The inductance is 4 Henrys. Okay. Let's measure an epi. These should all be the same, the Epiphones, but I will try another one just to make sure. Right, so the bridge on the Epiphone P90 Pro, 7.85, and the inductance is 6.14 Henrys. So straight away, there's quite a difference in these readings. And on the neck, 7.82. .82 Henrys. Check and see if the wheel shear is the same. 7.83. Yeah, almost identical. 6.11, yeah, almost identical. So, yeah, 7.8, 7.79K, 7.82 was the other one. So, you know, they're the same. Let's take a reading from these though. Bear in mind these are out of the guitar, so they're not going through the controls. So I imagine that will affect the reading a bit, but this will just give us an idea what's what. This is the bridge. 7.97. K. The inductance is 6.68. Neck, 7.94. .59. So they're really close. The Gibson ones and the Epiphone ones, readings wise, are really close. I'll put all those on the screen now so you can just see, because there's a lot of data there, wasn't there? But I've always said that Epiphone P90 Pros are as good as Gibson pickups. So, or the same as, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, people say, oh, should I swap the Epiphone pickups for Gibson ones? I don't think there's any point, personally. Right, that's enough rabbiting. That was the data. Let's put these in. They read different to the Squier ones, so let's see if they sound any different. This should be fun. These are push-pull songs, be careful. It's pulled off quite easily. There you go. I'm loosening these so I can pull them out to do the soldering, because it's going to be complicated because they're push-pulls, or more complicated than normal. So I'm going to unscrew them, pull them out a bit, hopefully, so that I can see what I'm doing. I can find a spanner that fits. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just making it up as I go along, as always. I have an idea. No, it's not true. I have an idea what I'd like to do. Whether or not I'll be able to do it, will remain to be seen. Oh yeah, these wobbly posts, remember? Yeah. That's why I bought new posts. Oops, that's my spoon dropping on the floor. Hang on. If you're wondering why I've got a spoon, it's because I thought I was going to have to spoon the knobs off, but I didn't, so it's not required. What was I doing? Yeah, I was showing you me wobbly post, wasn't I? So that's why I've bought, that's one of the reasons I've bought some new ones. I'm going to try and, I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to change the pickups first. Yeah, God, stop talking. Right. Let's make sure we're focused. See, I think you can see that clearly. Push pulls. Where's my pointer? It should be easy enough. Okay. Well, actually, yeah. So, oh, okay, that's good. Comes out easy enough. There's my lock washer there. Same here. So my idea being, if I pull them out like this, I'll be able to see exactly how the pickups and where the pickups are soldered to. Right, black. I'm not sure which one that is yet until I loosen the pickups. Is easily, it should be easily connectable to there and there. A red connects to the switch there and that post there. Should be easy. Right, let's just loosen the pickups and work out which is which. There's my locking washers. Mustn't forget to put those back. I'm taking my time to make sure that don't fuck it up. Right. Okay, red is neck. Remember that. In case I forget, I might need to ask you. So I'm just going to check they do fit. Be a disaster, wouldn't it? If they didn't. Well, not at this stage, but yeah, they do, look. See what I mentioned this in the review. Gibson ones just come straight off. These don't appear to. You appear to probably have to remove the screws first. So, right, so red is neck. That was right, wasn't it? Hot goes to switch. Earth goes to that post there. I can just about see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see as well. There's enough light. It's a bit tricky to strip the earth and separate it so to turn it into kind of two wires, because normally you know they just solder straight onto the back of the pots. So I'm going to make a little jumper wire, I think, which I think will work, just to make it a bit easier, hopefully. Just pull this back to strip it. I discovered that recently. Thanks to Ben Murray for telling me that. So, yeah, I just make a little diversion off of this. I think that might work. Well, soldered, so let's see if it works. Let's screw it all back together, turn the iron off, and pray normally at this point. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just got to hope you have not done something stupid. That all looks fine to me in there. Nothing touching. My biggest worry is the wires under there, but I don't think that earth wire touching the screws or anything is going to cause any problems. So we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, I'll leave the back off just in case, shall I? Let's see if we've got anything. Oh, middle setting 3.9. Ah, brilliant. Bridge 7.89. 7.86. Which means I'm going to tidy up, put a new set of strings on, put the original Epiphone bridge back on, the wobbly posts, and see what it sounds like. See you in a minute. Ideally, I'd like to make a direct comparison with it before, but I unplugged the loop and lost the loop, so I can't really do that. I've done another one. It probably sounds the same, so we'll make the best of it. This is what it sounds like. little snippet there. Gives you an idea, I hope. It's so difficult to do valid comparisons, really. I think what that probably tells us is there's not a massive difference. There never is. There never is when you change pickups. I think people expect a lot more than ever happens. Yeah. Oh, really? These are, I think there's a little bit more balls to them. Particularly on the neck. Not necessarily in a nice way. Sounds nice though, doesn't it? I think really the only difference is it might have a little bit more output, maybe. But it still sounds nice. Sounded nice before, still sounds nice. Oh, actually, I would question whether or not the neck pickup does sound as nice. Having said that. Right, let's change this, or let's try and change this and see if that makes a difference. I've got a feeling it'll make more of a difference than the pickups. So let's find out. Right, phase 2. Seems like a lot of effort so far for negligible reward. I may be wrong, you know, when I listen to it back, I may hear a lot of difference, but in the room, I'm not really hearing a lot. So now, however, I have high expectations because I've got myself some Faber aged hardware. Right, I'll show you what I've got. If I can open the bags. It's been a long day. Right. So a little Allen key in that as well. Let's get the stuff out of the jiffy bags and I'll tell you exactly what they are. And I'll put a link in the description box to this stuff as well. I got this directly from Germany, from Faber. So I'll put a link. Right, what have we got? I got one of these. This is their version of the wrap over lightning bar, I suppose. Look, you can see it alongside the original there. It's very light. It's aged, as you can see, and that is called a TPWC 59NA, nickel aged, that stands for. That's that bit. And then I've got the bushings that go in. I don't know if they'll fit the holes, but we're going to find out. These are tailpiece inserts. That'll be them, won't it? TPIBMNA. So I'll put the links in the description box. 8mm metric tailpiece inserts. And there's vintage style tailpiece studs. So I'm not sure which of the studs. They're probably the inserts and they're the studs. Don't know. No. Anyway, that's what we've got. So we're going to ruin another set of strings. Away we go. So we're trashing the original Epiphone lightning bar tailpiece. This is branded Epiphone, if you saw the last episode. Yeah, it's an Epiphone part that Squier have put on this. So, and it's pretty heavy. Let's get the scales, I'll show you the difference. So the original Epiphone branded one weighs in at 74 grams. And the one that I'm hoping to replace it with, 25 grams. So it's quite a difference. I wonder if that'll fit on the original post. Oh yeah, it does. It fits. So there's the thing. It'll go straight on the original wobbly posts if you were mad enough to want to do that. If you just wanted to just get the bridge, you could. But what I'm going to do is remove the studs and what I call the bushings. Sorry, I was confused because it didn't say bushings, it said inserts and studs. I suppose that's a stud. Oh, and that's an insert, isn't it? Is that what it said? Yeah, inserts. Yeah, that's an insert, isn't it? It's been a long day. Studs, inserts. Go away. Right, now I'm going to try and show you how to remove an insert, as they're called, apparently. Should be easy, this. But I don't think you can count on anything. Right, so a little bit of stud is what I've got here that will fit in the hole like that and go down the bottom. And you should be able to just put the original stud, yeah, stud in. I'm hoping this is going to work because this is kind of cheap stuff. So, oh, there you go. You see that's coming up now. You just screw it down and it pushes on the bit of stud in and lifts the bushing or insert up. Now that's not long enough. So I've got an 8mm bolt as backup, fortunately. Is a bit longer. And there you go. Hey presto. That's the old one. Put that aside. And shake our bit of studding out. Now, before I pull the other one up, I'm just going to make sure that this one, new one, will fit. Get me rubber mallet. Just. It's tight. Do a bit of finessing of that in a bit. But I'm going for it. I'm going for it. One more. No damage. It's tight. Oh, well that's good, isn't it? Because the other one was really loose. Okay. Right, so only fair that I show you how to set this up as well. Strings are loose at the moment, so I'm just going to roughly set the action with the strings loose. I set it on the 15th fret. I want 3/64ths, or that's about 1.5mm on the bass side. On the treble side, I want 1/32ths, or about 1mm. That's about right. This has got to go down. Big screwdriver doesn't fit. Let's get another one. Strings are loose. Don't turn this unless the strings are loose, because you can damage stuff. Okay, it's about right now. It's a good job there's a poly finish on this guitar. Just going to raise this one up a little bit. See that move? Now let's put some tune in the strings. What I'm going to do is intonate both these strings, and then the rest will hopefully go with it. It's flat. It's not too bad, is it? So I need to lengthen that side to start with. This is trial and error, obviously. You have to just keep working at it until it's right. You've got to loosen the strings off every time before you make adjustments. So, Allen key provided. It's a real pain having to loosen the strings every time you adjust it, but if you don't, you'll strip the threads. So it's just time consuming. We got there. Fucking hell, that was hard work. I thought for a minute it wasn't going to intonate, but I was turning it the wrong way. If you fret on the 12th fret and it's flat, you need to shorten the string. And I was lengthening it because I'm a twat, basically. So there you go. Let's plug it in, see if it was worth it. It's tomorrow now. I've come back in just to now pause and have a listen and see if I can hear the difference, because after all that effort, you know, you really want it to be worthwhile. And it's quite difficult, you know, when you're listening to this stuff back to back anyway, and to take everything into account, you know. So I'm probably going to be at a loss to identify what's different, better, worse, whatever. So let me know. Let me know what you think anyway, because it really, to be honest with you, it's what you think. Can you hear any difference? That's probably the thing, isn't it? Let me know in the comments. So just have a listen unplugged. I like to think this is going to be more open, more ringy, more sustained, I think, because it's kind of, the connection's better. I mean, it's a nice piece of kit, this. And this whole thing's €100. 100 euros, this. Again, I'll put the links in the description box. So I still think it's a worthwhile upgrade. Whether or not you think you can hear any difference or feel any difference, it's a nice bit of kit, you know. It's like, oh, okay, you've definitely pushed it up. And I think you can hear it more sustained with it. But let's now do that little loop thing again with the before and after. So a bit of this, and then I'll hook in some of the other stuff from before, and with the P90s, just, you know, so we've got a full range of comparisons in this, and we can have a listen, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss. See you in a minute. So that's interesting. Today, a new day, all the upgrades I did yesterday and most of the playing, and obviously this morning I've come in and I've been able to listen to it back with fresh ears, and I'm going to declare I can hear quite a difference with the pickup swap. Earlier in the film I've said, it's not that much difference. Do you know what? I think I was wrong. I think you can definitely hear the P90s make it sound more like a Gibson. It loses a lot of that Fender twang. Whether or not it sounds better or not, I'm going to say I'm not convinced that the neck pickup is better. I quite like the sound of the original neck pickup. So maybe the answer is put the original neck pickup back and have a mix, or maybe something else in the neck. But I think it sounds, it does sound more Gibson-y. So maybe, with the right rig and stuff, it would sound quite cool with some effects on it, maybe. Yeah, it didn't sound bad. It's just that the original neck pickup in this setup sounded quite, it had loads, it was quite open, and I like to hear the edge on a neck pickup, and there isn't much edge on this P90. I think that by changing the bridge, it didn't make a big difference to the sound, not plugged in. I think you can hear it unplugged, although I didn't do a comparison of that, I don't think, but take my word for it. You can hear the sustain and stuff a little bit more. I think it added a little bit more clarity back, if you know what I mean. So originally, yeah, it's bright, isn't it? It's got that Fender twang, which some of you love, and some of you probably think I've completely ruined this guitar. But it was an experiment. I might have done. I don't know. That's up for the individual to decide, isn't it? I might have ruined it. But what we discovered is that changing the pickups took loads of that twanginess away, made it sound more like a Gibson, and took a lot of the clarity away, I suppose. Let me know if I'm talking bollocks, won't you? I'm going to carry on anyway. The bridge, putting this Faber bridge on, I think it just kind of gave a little bit of back. So I think where we are is the jury's still out. P90s made it sound more like a Gibson. Definitely. Took some twang away. Maybe too much though. So yeah, I think I might be inclined to lose the neck one. Maybe put the original back, or maybe experiment with something else. Staple pickup, maybe. Mini humbucker. Do I hear anyone say mini humbucker? That'd be good, wouldn't it? So it's still a work in progress, this. We've mucked around. It's been, it's all a learning curve, this stuff, isn't it? It's all a learning curve. Learn to save your loop. That's the thing. That's my biggest lesson I'm going to take away. Although, having said that, I think having the different loop obviously helped emphasize the difference anyway, because with the original loop, you can really hear the twang. And I swear, the pickups were on the same settings for everything, I didn't change anything that I can remember anyway. So you can really hear the twang in the original loop, the Fender twang. And then it was kind of, more boomy, more ballsy, more Gibson-y. So there you go. That was that. That was interesting, wasn't it? Well, there you go. Yeah, that's what we did this week. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think I was talking bollocks. I don't profess to know very much at all, if anything, about this. And I can only trust my own ears. And that was interesting that this morning I could, with fresh ears, I could actually hear the difference a lot more than I could yesterday. So there you go. I don't know what that tells us, but it's been a laugh. It's been fun. It's been an experience. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your company. I've enjoyed your company. Let's do it again next week, shall we? Same time, same place, here. Come back and find out what we're up to then. I shall look forward to it. See you then, I hope. Cheers. Ta-da.